Another thing to woodworking is you have to think about 3 to 4 steps ahead. You can't just start slapping wood together and hope it works out, because then something will always mess you up. Just like I just noticed when I was gonna screw this one in, it's right behind this damn tree. I couldn't get my damn torque gun behind it, so I had to have the wife help me shift it back a little bit. In hindsight, I should have, done one there, and then maybe gone over here and done this one. But instead, I kept going down the line, which makes it heavier. So, like I said, you got to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of what possibilities, problems can occur. Okay, we pretty much have it squared off. We did a measurement just to make sure that it was squared. I did a measurement from here to there, 3 feet, and then from there to there 4 feet, and then from there to here with the tape. The wife was helping me, got 5 feet. So this portion is squared. I'm not sure if that portion is squared, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna just start cutting. I went ahead and spaced these all 15 inches apart on center, so that way we can go ahead and start matching them up with my 2x10. All right, so one of these tools are freaking awesome when you're gonna make a cut like this. Basically, these are all about 12 feet, but reality, they're never 12 feet. They're like 12 and half an inch or 12 and an inch. Reality is even my 10 footer back there, I had to cut off like 1.5 inches off the end to make sure it's exactly 10. I'm gonna make the deck 11 and a half feet long. So basically, just strap this little bad boy here, put a little screw on there. Nope, went too high. So I got it good now. Basically right on the line I made already. Run it all the way out. And that's, like I said, 11 and it's 11 6 inches minus 1.5 inches, because the 10 footer I'm going to put on there is 1.5 inches wide. So, and then I put my other marker here, put it down, and you just snap a line all the way across, and then I'll start cutting off these excess wood here, which I could possibly use as spacers or something. And now go ahead and just square it off from the line. Let the run square it off, and go ahead and just run it down with your hacksaw down the line. It should be able to. The only thing is I have to lift it up for each one of these boards so I can get it high enough for the hacksaw to get through it, or not the hacksaw, but the Ryobi. All right, now we put in these little center woods, and they kind of go staggered. You can see I put a chalk line right down here, so that way all the way down the same distance, and they're gonna just go in and out, and all it does is just keeps the wood from twisting on you. Gives it a little bit more brace. That's all it is. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're trying to figure out if your deck is square, you pretty much measure it corner to corner. Right here I'm like 180, almost 183. It's like 182 3/4, and I already measured the other side, and I'm at 180, a little bit below 183. So it's close enough for me. Before it was a whole inch off. It was like 183 and a half here, and it was like 182 3/4 over there. So this is definitely a lot better. And all I did was just, when it's off a little bit, the longer side, I just kicked it. I just booted it till it shrunk it a little bit, and it extended out that other side. So it's good enough for me. This is pretty much my frame right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out how much wood, because right now I'm gonna get some wood that goes right across over there, pretty much from here to there at a right angle, and then I'm gonna put some more decking here all the way up in there too. So I'm gonna build like a little bit of a platform. It's gonna take a little bit of leveling to get it just as perfectly as I can. But what I also want to do is I'm gonna take a measurement, and what I want to do is when I put this longboard, because there's basically gonna be one long piece that comes from that rod that comes all the way to the back piece. So it's gonna be, I think, roughly about a 15-footer, a 15-foot board, and then it's gonna start getting. So I'll get a couple of 15-foot, 16-footers really, because they only come in 2x2 sizes. They come, like 10s, 12s, 16s, 8, 10, 12, 6, 14, 16. So I'm gonna get a couple of 16, like 2 or 3 16-footers, a couple of 14-footers, and then the rest will be 12s. And then this one's just gonna be a straight piece, which will, I think it's only like maybe 6 to 7 feet going across over here. So what I want to do is I want to take a measurement. It's each piece of 2x6 is roughly I think it's about 5.5 inches and a half. It's hard to do this with one hand, but so it's roughly 5.5 inches long. And I thought about putting a little lip here where it comes out just a little bit. I might do something like that, just a little bit of a lip, but I don't know if I really want to do that, because I'm afraid that it might become more of a tripping hazard, where lazy people, they don't pick up their feet properly, and they're just going to end up hitting it and end up falling over. So I might just put it flush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do and when I start putting the rest of the 2x4s, I'm not going to put a gap at all. Usually you want to put like a nail gap in between, but I don't think I'm going to do that nail gap, because this is wet wood with the summertime, and because there's no shade here at all. I mean, there's shade trees, but summertime, wintertime, fall and stuff like that, there's not going to be much shade. So this wet wood will shrink a little bit. So I'm going to put them tight back to back all the way down. And what I want to do is it'll shrink a little bit and it'll leave a little bit of a gap. So it'll be good. So what I'm going to do is at this point, what I want to do is get a good measurement and actually figure out right here. I want to make sure that I don't have to cut any wood or anything like that. So basically, one of the 6 foot, the 2x6s will end right where another piece starts to ride back. So that way it'll just be a straight back ride. If I cut, and it could have a little bit of a lip on this side. I'm not worried about that, but I do want to make sure that I get as close as I can, and I'm not like a full 2-3 inches off where it'll tip over or something like that. I want to make sure that I'm, maybe half an inch to an inch at the most. And then if I come out pushing myself too far out, then I'm going to miss my beam altogether. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is just, like I said, measure this out. How much wood. I think right now I'm going to need 11 2x6x10s just to get up to here. And then from here it's going to go out, 2x6x16s, about 3 pieces or so. And by me measuring it out at this point, I got a couple of 2x6x10s over there. And what I can do is just ride them out and see how many I'm going to need at what distance. So that way I'm not buying them all 16 footers, 16, 14, 12. And I don't waste that much money, because you'd be surprised how much more expensive it is. Paying like a cent a foot more. So there's no reason to do that. Now this is another thing we like to add. This is just an additive for me. This is kind of like a tar tape. What it does is it's really plastic. It's kind of like tarish on the bottom. The only reason why I like to put this down on the base is because when you screw down with a screw, and it goes from the top deck down to the deck here. After a while, the water will actually gather in the drill holes, especially if you make them too deep in, and the water will then go through the screw into this, and it'll make it weaker. So by putting this, it's kind of like a little insulation. It's just something I like to do. You don't have to do it. It's like $10 for a roll of this. We bought 3 of these.